Okay, hi guys. I'm making biryani in my Instapot here. So I just wanted to show you guys how I do it. It's really easy, super quick, and it always turns out really well. Meat is always really tender. It's a chicken biryani I'm making today. So to start off, what I've done is I put oil in there, about 3 tablespoons, and I put it on the saute function here. You'll see at the top, the saute function here. Okay, it tells you that the oil is hot. So now that I know it's hot, I'm going to add my whole spices. And in there I have, I'm going to be putting I have about 10 cloves. Okay. And then I'm going to be putting, you can hear them sizzle actually. And then I'm going to be putting, so I'm just finding my measuring spoon here. And then I'm putting in 1 teaspoon of cumin, jeera, okay, whole coriander seeds, and then this is all 1 teaspoon each, okay, 1 teaspoon of, sorry, that's a bit much, I'm going to do half a teaspoon of black peppers. And then I'm going to be putting in about 1, 2, 3, about 7 green algae or cardamom. Okay, and all that is sauteing in there. It actually looks really lovely. So that's in there. You can see it. I don't want it to burn. I'm just going to go in. That stir it in quite nicely. Okay, literally just let it saute for less than a minute. Now I'm putting in my 2 onions that I've chopped into slices. So in they go. And I'm just gonna let it saute. Okay. Okay, so this has been sauteing for a little bit longer than 5 minutes. My little one started crying, so I got a little bit occupied with him. But this is actually not a bad color because it's quite dark. It's not even yet dark brown, but you can see that it's fine. So now what I'm going to do is add 3 cut tomatoes, fresh cut tomatoes. Okay. I'm going to let this down, let this go down. Sorry, you can hear my little guy. He's literally in my arms whilst I'm stirring this in. Okay, so now we're going to let this saute for a bit longer. Okay, so let's do 5 minutes saute and I'll be back in 5 minutes to show you what it looks like. Okay, so now I'm going to add, you can see the oil has separated, which is exactly what we want. So the water to evaporate and the oil to separate, okay, in the sauce. Now I'm going to add I'll add 1 teaspoon of ground coriander, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 1 teaspoon of turmeric. I don't like too much spice in my food, otherwise you won't be able to taste the whole spices and the flavor that this paste has, okay? Put another half a teaspoon of turmeric just because it does give it a good flavor. And then I'm going to add one and a half teaspoon of garlic, 1 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of ginger paste. It's all freshly ground. I've just done it, which makes a difference to the flavor, in my opinion, for biryani specifically. Okay. Okay. So that's that over there. Now I'm going to add some paprika. The paprika gives it really good color. So you want it to. Okay, so I put 1 teaspoon, 1.5 teaspoon of paprika. Okay. Got a bit of a stir. Oh, it smells amazing. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of the biryani powder I showed you guys earlier. 1 teaspoon of that. I do sometimes am hesitant because sometimes I feel like this makes it a bit too spicy for the family, because if you have children, it can be too spicy. So I'm putting 1. You can always add it later because there will be a time where you can taste the flavor of the paste. Okay, and I'm just going to add, this is 1 kilo chicken niblets from the butchers. Okay, so they're small pieces of chicken. And I've washed them, and I'm just popping them in now. Let's give this a stir. Add some lemon juice, because I want it to cook in some lemon juice, all of it. It's going to slow cook now. Add a little stir. Pop in a little bit of water. I'm putting in just because I don't want it to get too watery. I like the thickness of the sauce. Okay, all right. So now we're gonna pressure cook it for a very short while. So here's my lid. Make sure your nozzle's there on the top side, and then I'm gonna do pressure cook. I'm gonna pressure cook it for 10 minutes. And that's it, okay? And it's on, in case you guys are keen to see. Pressure cook 10 minutes, and the keep warm is there. I'm gonna let it keep warm until all the pressure is released. So now it's on. I'll be right back when it's done. So now I'm gonna add my yogurt to it. And I am going to add half a cup of yogurt. The kind of yogurt I'm using is a Greek yogurt, a Greek style yogurt, and I'm just gonna plonk it in there. So what I've done also in the Instapot, you could probably see, is I have cooked, normally if it's 1 cup of rice, I put 1.5 cup of water, but what I did this time around was I only did the 1 cup of rice with 1 cup of water, and then I stopped it at 6 minutes, so it's parboiled. I do want it to cook a bit more with the juices of the biryani. I'm going to put another tablespoon of the biryani in there, actually. Sorry, a tablespoon, just like another scoop of yogurt. Some people put less yogurt. I like the yogurt in there because I feel like when it cooks, the sauce and the yogurt really thicken, so you get a really good amount of flavor. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. It tastes amazing. Season it to taste, guys, if you need to add more salt depending on the biryani powder that you have used. And now we're just gonna layer like a lasagna. So on the base I have I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in there just so it doesn't stick. I'm gonna put ghee. Ghee is clarified butter, but it's like boiled, it's like Indian butter. So I'm gonna put some ghee at the base here on this rice just so it doesn't stick. This isn't exactly a very diet, if you're trying to shed some pounds, this would be a really good cheat meal type of recipe. Just because, I mean, ghee isn't a bad ingredient. Lately they're saying that it's good for the joints, it's good for the brain. It's a good ingredient to have because the body can break it down. It knows what it is. So it depends on your views and how it reacts with your system. But I don't mind having a little bit of ghee in my diet. Not every day, but once a week doesn't hurt. Or whenever we're celebrating. I am making the biryani in celebration. We're having the family over. So, yeah. So the base layer is plain rice with a bit of ghee in there. Then I'm going to pile on. I fried some potatoes. I didn't think I needed to show you guys how to fry potatoes, but I mean, I'm sure there are other YouTubers that have done that, so I'm just gonna scatter them on there. Generally, when you fry them for biryani, a little bit crispier than usual, just so that way when it softens with the biryani sauce, it's just gonna be yum, yum, yum. Okay, and I've also made another cup of rice, but I cooked it in saffron water. You can just pop the saffron inside the water, let it boil, and then it looks cooked, but it's not fully cooked, so I'm going to be using some of that as well to layer, just because I like the different colors of rice, and literally sprinkle that in. Okay, for different flavor, different colors. I like the multicolor grains. And then so I'm going to start popping in the biryani sauce with the chicken. And I love cooking it in the Instapot just because when it's on the keep warm function, it just continues to stay warm, and each and every grain gets, you know, a touch of biryani flavor, scent, fragrance. It's really good. I really like using the Instapot for my biryani. And it's easy, so when it's time to serve, it's just ready to go. It's warm, perfect temperature. Okay, so that's it there. I'm gonna my son loves biryani, so I made it for his birthday family dinner. But I'll show you guys when it's all done what it looks like. I'll stick a snippet because I think once the family comes over, it's hard to have a conversation, or just without all the noise. So there we are. Okay, so sauce, all of it in there. So the bottom sauce, the bottom layer of rice is the parboiled, so not fully cooked, so that way all the juices will cook. I'm going to use my other bowl. Okay, and I'm going to top it with the properly cooked rice, or semi-proper, almost proper saffron rice. I love saffron rice in my dishes. Even if I was to do like a saute with cashews and stuff, I'd use saffron. But when I do that, I'll show you guys. Okay, so that's that. Just kind of settle it in there. Okay, and now the saffron rice on top. I might put a few more potatoes before I do the rice. Stick a few more potatoes. There we are. That's about 2.5 large potatoes that I've used, and then in goes the rice. If I get time, I might do another layer of white rice on top, but that's only if I get a bit of time. They should easily feed about 8 to 10 adults, and so we have, in my opinion anyways, depending on the appetite, but there we are. Okay, and I'm gonna cook it on the rice mode, and then it'll go into the keep warm mode. So here we go. Close it up. Make sure this is on the pressure cook side, and then I'm sticking it on the rice mode. I hope you can see rice. It's on 12 minutes automatically. I'm just gonna let it do its thing, and then when I'm about to serve it, I'll show you guys. Okay.